Hi guys, Lindsay here with Storybook Family Farm. So for those of you wondering what are the most important animals to raise for a homestead, this video is definitely for you. While we raise a lot of animals on our homestead, things like chickens, ducks, geese, turkeys, which they are all following me. These are just babies, they're not full size yet. That would be a very disappointing Thanksgiving, I think. Be like, sorry, you can only have Thanksgiving for one. But so anyways, really guys, you want to be a part of this video? This breed of turkeys that we have is very friendly. They're called a midget white, and they always stay friendly because I even have, I'll flip you guys around so you can see. The fathers are right there coming up to say hi and to babysit their sons and daughters. So anyways, if you guys are new around here, we raise a lot of different types of animals. So we have bantam chickens, we have ducks, we have geese, we clearly have turkeys. We also have goats and rabbits. We did do quail for a while, but that's another story for another day. So if I had a homesteading do-over, the top 3 animals that I would actually start with are not ones that we have. Well, we have them, but they're not the only things we have because we're kind of addicted to this lifestyle and cute little turkeys that peck at your pants. So anyways, the first animal that I would start with actually is rabbits. I know that everybody talks about how chickens are the gateway drug into homesteading and all this stuff, but I kid you not, raising rabbits for meat is seriously, it is the smartest decision you can make. Rabbits are quiet, their manure is perfect for the garden. You don't have to sit there and let it sit and waste away for a while. And you know, a lot of people, they'll say anywhere from 6 months to 18 months is how long you have to let chicken manure set before you can use it on the garden. Rabbit manure, it's a cold manure. It can instantly be used on gardens, lawns, fruit trees, regular trees, anything like that. It's very good for you. Well, for your soil, not you. I don't recommend eating it. That's a very bad idea. It's not Cocoa Puffs. Will you please stop pecking at my leg? Silly turkeys. So I would start with rabbits. If you're wondering what rabbit meat tastes like, it tastes a lot like chicken. However, it's a very sustainable source of meat. Meat chickens are not. They are not a breed that actually can ever reproduce on their own. They're basically like a Frankenstein breed that would never be able to exist in the wild. For me, I want to make sure that our homestead is very sustainable and that once we buy livestock, you know, like the turkey boy, look how handsome they are, that once we buy livestock, that we don't have to then keep rebuying it again and again and again and again, because that's just not good business. It's not good economics to have to keep restarting over and over and over again. Whereas the rabbits, you buy breeders, you then breed them, you then pull out new breeders, you just keep going and going and going. It's a never-ending cycle. Plus the mamas raise their babies for you, so you don't have to really do that much work. It's very hands-off. It's a lot easier than raising chicks and stuff. It's the no-brainer way to go. The next animal that I would then get after you get your hands on rabbits and you get a handle for it and you understand the process of it and how to butcher it and how to utilize the meat and doing all those things is I would then invest in getting ducks, not chickens. The reason for that is duck meat is very different than chickens. Ducks take till they're about 6 to 7 months old to start laying eggs, which is not that big of a deal. It's not that long of a wait. And ducks lay about the same amount of eggs every year as chickens do. I personally am not a huge fan of duck eggs for having them just like a dippy egg or fried egg, whatever you want to call it, over medium, whatever you call it. In my area that I live in, I've grown up calling it a dippy egg my entire life, so to me, that's what an over medium egg is. So I would actually go with ducks instead of chickens because of the fact that duck meat is a red meat. It is a very good substitute for things like venison or beef or lamb, something of the sort like that. So in a small amount of space, you can raise a lot of ducks. And ducks are very fast to grow out. Around the age of 10 to 12 weeks, which is the same for meat rabbits, you can then process the birds and, you know, have meat for on the table. And it's a good sustainable way of having meat. Ducks also do a really good job of laying throughout the wintertime. And no, contrary to popular belief, you do not need to have a pond in order to have ducks. A little kiddie pool suffices very well. We did that for a couple years actually, of having just little kiddie pools for the ducks to swim in and to get wet. And the biggest thing is they need to have enough water that they can dip their entire beaks, well, bills, into so that way they can clean out their nostrils. Ducks are very easy to contain. You can actually just build a little 2-foot chicken wire fence for them because they cannot fly. So it makes it very easy to contain them. Whereas chickens, Some breeds, they can fly pretty well. The next animal that I would encourage you to get into doing is some sort of dairy animal. For us, we raise Nigerian dwarf goats because of the fact that they are a very cheap goat to keep. Well, goats really aren't that cheap if you don't have a lot of space, but any dairy animal is going to run into the same problem of if you don't have acres and acres and acres of land for them to roam on, you're going to have to buy hay, and hay does get expensive. So it is expensive to have your own home dairy. But for me, that's something that's very important because I can't tolerate cow's milk very well. So for me, the goats are an essential part of the homestead. It does take some time in getting used to, the routine of the goats and stuff, and goats are expensive to start up with. That's why you should start with the rabbits and then the ducks and sort of ease yourself into these baby steps of more responsibility and more things that you have to do in a day. Please don't peck the tripod. They're really not that big. I know on camera it kind of looks like they're very, very large, but they're very small. The fathers of this breed, they actually are only about 15 pounds, which is very small for an adult male turkey. The broad-breasted white ones, the ones that are commercially sold, they can get upwards of 50 pounds as live adults. So, I mean, that's kind of intimidating. Anyways, so with goats, it does take a lot of time to get them old enough to breed and then old enough to produce milk and things of that nature. But once you get started onto it and have a cycle going, or if you start with adults, it really isn't that big of a deal to then wait because each mama produces milk for a good long time. And you guys understand, milk is awesome. Milk products are awesome. Dairy products are awesome, especially when they don't irritate your tummy. So the nice thing too with the goats is should you choose to also eat them, they also make a great source of meat. We have not eaten our goats yet. We have not tried goat meat simply because we hunt and we haven't really had a need to yet. Because also the duck meat is very comparable to deer meat, and from what we've read and what we've been told by other people, goat meat tastes very similar to deer. So, not a bad way to go, but we don't have a need for it yet. Plus, we really like having the goats just around to hang out because they're really cool animals. So those are the top 3 animals that I actually think that if I was going to do a homesteading do-over and start from scratch and start new and getting into livestock and all of those things, those are the 3 that I would raise if I could only raise 3. However, because I don't like duck eggs very much, to make them scrambled eggs, cheesy eggs, use them in recipes, all that stuff, they taste the same. They taste fine. Everything's fine. For me personally, because I'm not a huge fan of duck eggs, I would still have a few chickens just because I much prefer the chicken eggs, but that's just me and stuff. We have way too many animals to count, way too many more than we need. So, clearly we're really good at reining in our impulses and our love of animals. We do a great job. But yeah, so that's my 3, technically 4, but that's what I would raise if I was starting over again. Plus everything that I listed off too can easily be maintained on less than a 1/4 acre of land. So lots of options for those of you that don't have a lot of space. So anyways, if you're enjoying this content, please give this video a thumbs up. Share it with your friends on social media. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to help us grow. We'd greatly appreciate it. Let me know in the comment section below if you guys have different animals that would be in your top 3 of what you would need to raise on your homestead. And also let me know why, because I'm curious to know what other people's top 3 are. All right, thanks for watching. Have a good one, guys.